It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Torrside Brewery, and it's a bottle of Monsters with Strange Aeons Imperial Stout. The beer is coming in at 10% ABV. That was a look at the label. There's the bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. A beer in the glass then. Interesting. Even with a 10% Imperial Stout, you expect maybe a little bit of head on the beer. This beer is created next to no head at all. But I can still see the conditioning. I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but you can still see some conditioning. There's some carbonation moving up the glass slowly. So it has carbonation. Just didn't create a head. You can pick this beer up from imperialbeerclub.com. Check out the link in the description box below. So let's get on with the review. Jet black beer in the glass. Aroma. Whoa. What it lacks in the head, it makes up on in absolute aroma. I'm picking up coconut, vanilla, oak, your obvious chocolate coffee caramels, vinous, there's some raisin in there, there's some plum, there's some fig. It smells slightly lactosey as well, as if they put some lactose in there to kind of add a creamy mouthfeel. I don't generally read the label before I do the review because I think I like to give my first honest opinion, and then I'll read the label and talk about what the brewer thinks the beer is and what's added to the beer later on. But I like to go with guesswork to begin with, so let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, strangely, I don't know why I got this in my head, and Torrside Brewing will probably not be happy bunnies to hear this, but it had a little bit of Innocent Gun about it. The initial taste, the initial Innocent Gun's Irish Stout, it had that initial feeling of, just brought Innocent Gun to my mind. That's not a bad thing in my mind, because I think Innocent Gun's Irish Stout is absolutely fantastic. But, oh, it's fantastic. There's so much going on. Stone the Crows. It is a Stone the Crows beer. It's very bitter. On the back end, I'm picking up a lot of bitterness. So I'm starting at the back of the taste, and I'm moving, trying to retrace my tracks a little bit here. But lots of bitterness on the back end. But in between that, there's vanilla. There's an oaky flavour. There's raisin and plum and fig. There's bitter coffee, bitter chocolate, and some sweet caramel. This beer has got so much going for it. It's even got a rich, dense, bold mouthfeel. It's got a big, creamy, rich, dense, bold mouthfeel. And again, I think it's bending my mind a little bit here, because normally with an Imperial Stout with a rich, dense, bold mouthfeel, you get a thick tan coloured head that's tight with the carbonation, but for some reason it's not there. But you still get the carbonation, you still get the mouthfeel. There's some coconut in there as well. I mentioned vanilla. It's a fantastic brew. Let's now read the bottle and see what's in the brew. Our Monster Beers are party guiles, brewed with a fraction of the rich, stronger wort from early in the brewing process. This means more concentrated sugars that ferment into some hefty beers, often of a different character to the beer that the rest of the work goes on to create. I get that, and I only get that because I took a bottle of Imperial Stout once to the head brewer of Brains, and I was like, you have to try this beer, it's incredible. It was Even More Jesus by Evil Twin, and it was just amazing. And he loved it, and I think he produced his own Imperial Stout off the back of that. And he said this must be just the start of the wort, and then they've cut it off. And back then I didn't really know what he was on about, but I kind of, my brewing evolution has kind of evolved since then, and I know now that what he means is that you get this more denseness when you start to transfer the wort, transfer the early part of the beer to the early, maybe new people who are watching my channel. I never ever wanted to be one of these channels that was just too technical. I can be really technical, but what's the point? Because if you're new to craft beer, you won't understand. So I've always based myself on being easy listening and very understandable. That's why I'm not too technical in my kind of speech with brewing, because I just don't think, especially in the beer world, I don't think it's needed. Anyway, going back to this beer, let's give it a rating. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a Stone the Crow's beer. It is a Stone the Crow's beer. But, and I bet the brewers even wish this. I bet the brewers wish that there was this thick, tight, tan coloured head on the beer. I have a feeling that they know what they're doing. Of course they know what they're doing. They produce this wonderful beer. It's just something that's happened in the brewing process or the fermentation process that's knocked the head away, and it's a real shame. Maybe it's a baby of a beer, and you need to age this for 5 years. Maybe that was the trick. Maybe I might get a bottle of this again off Torrside Brewing. I might stick it in the back of the cupboard and forget about it, and in 5 years' time, once it's had time to mature a bit, bang, I poured it out, and it's got this rich, lovely, deep, golden, tan coloured head. But at the moment, I don't have it. And somehow, it's very difficult to get your head around that. It's so difficult to get your head round the fact that you're pouring a beer out and there's just no head. It's like, ah! And that's just me being average Joe on the street, because even average Joe, and I apologise for the wording. It's just the best I got at the moment. Even average Joe expects a little head on a beer. So, rating. Do you know, it's a Stone the Crow's beer, but it'd be the lowest Stone the Crow's beer I've ever given on the channel. If that had a little bit more carbonation and a head on the beer, I would have given it a 9 out of 10. But as it is today, I'm going to give it an 8. It's an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.